Yeah, it's your boy KC2 Real, man. I'm back with another video, Talkin Stock Tuesdays. Man, it is a lot going on in the market. But before we get into all that, please hit that like and subscribe button, man. Smash that like and subscribe button so we can grow this channel, man, and help more families and more people be able to access wealth, man. Let's get into it. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about, of course, is the market has been all over the place, up, down, left, right, you name it. Yes, it's because things are happening that we've spoke on this show before. But we're not going to keep beating the dead horse, right? So we're just going to remain optimistic, like I said the first time, and we're going to keep pushing. Um, if you join my stock club, um, come see for yourself. I don't want you to take my word for it, but we making money in the drought, man, and that's all I'm gonna say. So first things first that we want to talk to you about, there's a lot of tensions going on, there's a lot of tariffs going on, and there's a lot of markets going up, down, left, right? So yesterday, not today, today's Tuesday, 4/22/25. Yesterday, 4/21/25, was a bad day in the market. Lost about $1.5 trillion dollars. Um, Definitely one of those days where you're like, and the reason that happened is because a lot of things were going on with Trump and Jerome Powell, who is the Fed chairman, and he has basically been kind of putting pressure on him to do rate cuts. And Fed Powell is nervous that if he does the rate cuts too fast, that it will increase inflation and end up in a worse economic situation that we're already in. So, um, what happened today, though? The market kind of rebounded a little bit because Trump made announcements that, his top economic advisor came out and said that he believes that these tariffs are going to be hurtful for their economy long run. And Trump kind of shared the same sentiment, which means they're kind of moving faster towards a deal than than normal, right? So what's happening today? After a sharp decline, U.S. stock markets bounced back on April 22nd with the S&P 500 gaining 2.5%, the Dow Jones rising 2.7%, and the Nasdaq increasing 2.7%. Fueled by strong earnings reports from companies like Equifax and 3M. Keep in mind, when I told you last week, those earning reports that are coming out now do not reflect tariffs. Those are pre-tariff earnings. So just keep that in mind when you're playing the earnings this go round, right? So year-to-date performance, despite the rebound, major indexes remain down for the year with losses ranging from 7.9 to 15.6%. Okay, so what was my main sentiment last week? That yes, the market will have green days, but until this is fully resolved with this trade war, with these tariffs, with all these other countries, things will remain rocky. That's what I've been trying to warn you of because days like today will fool the average retail investor to buy, and then the market crashes again the very next day. It's happened to me. It's happened to other people in my stock club. And this is why I'm trying to tell y'all that remain cautious of this market until things are fully resolved, until papers are signed saying this is going to be our trade agreement. We're going to take these tariffs off. Until all that is put into full effect motion, I do not trust anything that comes out of the White House mouth. They're trying to control, they're manipulating the market allegedly with the things that they say. So let's keep that in mind. We cannot trust the word of the White House because Trump says one thing, he does another thing. Then a couple weeks later, he does this, he takes him off, he puts him back on. We don't know where he's going with this sentiment. So while that is happening at this point in time, the market is very, very volatile. And I do not want anybody to think just because the market rebounds from a really bad day and it starts to go up again, that, oh, saviors come, everything's over. No, it's not. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's go. Um, okay, it's IMF sounds the alarm. This is not good. If you were here last week, I talked about a lot of things. I talked about how the fear is not just for the stock market. It's for the economy of America as a whole. If you're an American investor watching, if you're from anywhere around the world watching, America's economy is affecting your economy because it's the biggest economy in the world. Let's put it like that. So, and that's not to say anything. I know some people, they have their own feelings about our country, but the point is, if you're investing in our stock market, you have to know these things. So, um, yes, the U.S. is having a lot of economic issues that are underlying that is not just about the stock market, it's about the housing market, it's about the bond market. There's a lot of things going on at once. That is the main sentiment that I was giving y'all last week. But let's talk about this. This is significant because the IMF, if you don't know what the IMF is, for anybody that doesn't know, that means the International Monetary Fund. Global financial stability at risk amid trade turmoil. This is from today. This is not late news. This isn't something I'm telling you from a while ago. This is from today. That means you really need to be aware of what is really going on out here. Global financial stability at risk amid trade turmoil. Growth forecast slashed. The IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, has downgraded global growth forecast, predicting 2.8% growth in 2025, down from 3.3% in January. The U.S. growth is now expected at 1.8%. 1.8%. Now, amidst what they're saying, which is very scary, there's a key point that I want to talk to you about in this statement. What is the statement really saying? The International Monetary Fund is telling you that in January, their predictions of growth were 3.3%. That means, but right before Trump got in office, the IMF was predicting 3.3% growth in the global growth. This is around the world. This is not just America. Now, there's two things you need to take from this statement. This, for one, shows you how America's economy falling affects the global situation of other economies. This is a very good teller. This is showing you. This is something the International Monetary Fund is around the world. They're telling you that their growth estimates around the world are dropping amidst America's trade war with other countries. That just shows you how much America affects other countries. That's one point. The second point is, why did it drop from January? It dropped from January because economists saw the economy going in a good direction until Trump trashed it. Tell that to your local Republican. But that's beyond the point. That's not the point that I'm trying to get on. I'm not going to get all political, y'all. But the point is, the economy was actually looking good around the world until Trump did this. So it's deeper than just America. Please take those 2 points away when you read this. Now, let's keep going. The IMF warns of increased risk to global financial stability due to escalating trade tensions and geopolitical uncertainties. Key concerns include high valuations in equity and corporate debt markets, stress on highly leveraged financial institutions, and increased pressure on sovereign debt markets. All you need to know from what I just read for you is that it's looking ugly, it's nasty, it's disgusting outside. Stay in the house, man. It's nasty. That shit is nasty. Everything that's going on with this trade war is dirty business. It's the dirtiest of business. This shit is nasty. This is a failed hostile takeover. That's literally what it is. Allegedly. This is a failed hostile takeover. America tried to hostile take over the world, and it is a failed attempt, and it's going sour. And all the employees, i.e., citizens, are getting fucked by it. It's nasty. These Republicans sit here talking about, oh, well, the stock market drops a couple points. So what? The investors are just big Wall Street, big banks losing money. No, we're losing money, bitch. Our retirements are losing money. But that's beyond the point. Let's keep going. So, what are the stocks to watch in these times, man? It's nasty times outside. But there are some hopes and there are some green plays that have been showing strong momentum throughout all of this tariff tension that has been dropping and gaining the market and everything, so forth. Netflix, you see the picture right there. I didn't put it there for my health. I put it there so you can look. Their subscribers are on the rise. Um, I'm hoping that 2025 their subscribers are up. But either way, they have over 20 million people subscribed. And that's after they've been raising the price over this time between 2019 and 2024. So Netflix is definitely one of them ones. I've been telling people that Netflix, when it dropped under $900, I said, you gotta love Netflix under $900. Now I think it's back over 1,000 up in that range. If you missed that, I don't know what to tell you, man. I called it. I told you. And sometimes, and I don't say that to be cocky, but sometimes you have to remind people that you do be right sometimes, so they don't try to just downplay your whole system. You know what I mean? But anyways, McDonald's is definitely a defensive play. Um, and all of this is defensive plays, really. These are things that have been defensive throughout all these tariffs. So McDonald's is definitely a recession-proof brand, solid dividends, growing delivery and app sales, and it's holding, right? So Palantir, they got government contracts and defense AI contracts. They're definitely going to be a big player going forward, especially, and I hate to say it, allegedly, but especially if these tariff situations go south. These tariff situations go south, and we end up fighting with a country over this shit. Palantir is going to shoot to the moon, and also aerospace stocks like General Electric and things of that nature. Which General Electric is another stock that I am watching. It's been doing extremely well, and Warren Buffett likes it. So Warren likes it, you know. But anyways, let's keep going. So ETFs to watch this week. You know I'm a big fan of ETFs. If you are a beginner, I definitely recommend you buy an ETF before you buy individual stock. Um, these are some really good ETFs that are holding up amidst all these things going on. Gold, I don't even have to tell you about gold. I've been telling you all about gold for months. If you haven't been watching, then I'm sorry. Join the stock club. You will get those information up to date, right? So gold, I've been talking about gold for a while. A while. So it's up 17.3 cent percent year to date. We got VHT, which is Vanguard Healthcare. Vanguard has an ETF for everything. I told y'all that a while ago. But yes, it's up 5.2% year to date. Shield, which is a defense tech, which is just what I was talking about with military, AI, weapons, things of that nature. The way this trade war is looking, we might gotta, you know. But anyways, that's up 12.5% year to date. DBA is an agricultural fund that focuses on agriculture, up 3.4%. Agriculture is one to be careful of because it is affected by tariffs. Yes, there are farmers that grow American grown products, but most farmers barter for their product. So they might have a product that they make and they barter with and trade with another farmer from somewhere else that makes a different product so they can have that and they, back and forth trade. So definitely is going to be affected by tariffs. IYF is financials. I've been telling y'all about financial stocks like Visa and things of that nature for the past couple months. So yes, that's up 4.8% year to date. So definitely want to look into ETFs if you're a beginner or if you're just a seasoned investor that just wants something safe to play. Yeah, smart exposure in a shaky market. That's the whole point. So let's keep going. Um, let's get into some news. So we've been going through a lot with Trump, and Trump has just not been making it easy for us, has he? But anyway, so now the Fed is under fire. Um, Trump versus Powell, central bank independence in question. Now, presidential criticism. President Trump intensifies criticism of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell demanding interest rate cuts and labeling him a major loser. Imagine a nigga like Trump calling you a loser. This nigga still crying about losing the election from 2020, by the way. But I digress. Anyways, let's keep going. So, what are the market implications? Such political pressure raises concerns over the Federal Reserve independence, potentially undermining confidence in U.S. financial institutions and contributing to market volatility, right? So this picture that I'm showing with y'all is showing what the two cuts that the Fed is planning to make for March 2025, right? Which obviously it didn't happen. They pushed it back because of all this tariff incidents. But they're still planning to have these two or three rate cuts over the next few years, right? So this is what they're actually planning for the upper limit, right? So you can see that they're planning to drop it from 4.5 to 4 in 2025. Then they're trying to drop it to about 3.5 in 26, and then they're about to drop it maybe to about 3.2, 3.3 in 2027. And that's how they're trying to quantitative easing in down the interest rates. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen. Trump is very pushy about this. I mean, he's been putting putting belt to ass on Jerome Powell. So Jerome Powell seems like the kind of guy he's gonna stick it out, but we'll see. Um, um, We have to be very careful though, because a lot of things are in play. Like I said, the interest rate, everybody's so worried about interest rates. But my brother, this shit is bigger than interest rates, brother. I see a lot of people, a lot of other financial guys on their social medias just talking about interest rates and oh, interest rates are gonna matter and bro, it's more than just interest rates, bro. Even if he cuts rates, it's gonna be bad. If he doesn't cut rates, it's gonna be bad. You have to realize that the economy is doing bad numbers. Watch last week's episode to realize what I'm really talking about. But at the end of the day, it's not looking good, bro. So we can sit here and say, "Oh yeah, he's about to do this with interest rates. Da, 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 that should help." It's not gonna help if other things don't come into play. That's all I'm gonna say. So let's keep going. Um, global trade dynamics. So apparently, U.S. and India have been strengthening their relations amid trade uncertainty, which is a good thing. India is a very um it's in a great development stage of their country. I mean, they have one of the fastest growing economies in the world right now. They have one of the fastest growing populations in the world right now. All good things for America to be teaming up with them. That's not gonna get China off your ass, but yeah, that's a good move though. Um, did y'all see JD Vance meet the Pope and then he died the next day? I don't know. That's weird. I ain't saying nothing like he had nothing to do with it or nothing, but I'm just saying that's some crazy shit. But anyways, hopefully this guy from India doesn't die. Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Uh, not even trying to be funny, but dead ass. Cause I don't know, this nigga JD Vance got niggas dropping. But anyways, U.S. India ties an advance over bilateral trade deal amid concerns over potential American tariffs, right? So they've been strengthening their relationship, which was a good sign, which is one of the catalysts for why the market bounced back so heavily today. Nvidia bounced back, did really good. I'm in Nvidia, so yeah, I was doing great. I'm in gold too, so I'm also sitting kind of pretty amidst all the bullshit. So yeah, if you join the stock club, you can do what I do. But anyways, the U.S. is advocating for increased Indian purchases of U.S. defense and energy products and enhanced market access for U.S. companies aiming to diversify trade relationships. Now, let me keep in mind, and I'm gonna just say this once. I'm not gonna even get into it heavily because I've already gave my piece on how I feel about this whole situation with the Trump administration and these tariffs. But my point is, Trump has been emphasizing that, oh, they're begging to make a deal. Oh, there's so many countries. They're lining up to call and make a deal. I think one country wanted to make a deal. Maybe two, maybe three. All the small countries are trying to make a deal. I'm gonna tell you who's not making a deal. The big countries, the ones that you really have to worry about, they're not making the fucking deals. And guess what? Even if India signs a deal with America, they can just veto it and go in another deal with another country if they offer them a better one. Now, every piece of news that involves this trade war so far has came out with counter news from China. Now let's see what China does. Let's see if they offer India a better deal. You never know what might happen. That's why I'm trying to say China is playing chess, not checkers. And the point is, Trump is trying to sell us this illusion that all these countries are lining up to make a deal. Um, these are negotiation talks. You slapped a 10% tariff on every country in the world. Yes, they're going to come to talk to you to see what the fuck is going on and why you're doing this. That does not mean they're begging to make a deal. Because Trump is a media guy. He knows how to spin the media. That does not mean the same thing as that's all these countries are begging to make a deal. But we'll see. We will see, man. It sounds good until it doesn't go through. That's all I'm saying. Let's see if it does. If it does, I'm happy. If it doesn't, then it just is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm very cautious about anything that this White House put out. And I'm not just saying that just because it's Trump administration. I don't like any politician. I don't trust any politician, and I'm skeptical of any of them. So I take this stance with any president. But anyways, let's keep going. So, what are your investment strategies amid uncertainties? You staying ahead, diversification, and caution. That's what we talked about mainly last week about the real underlying economic issues of this country, not just the stock market, not just the bond market, not just the real estate market. It's a lot going on. The debt, the trade war, all this bullshit. There's a lot going on, my guy. And I don't want to scare you, but you gotta know what's coming. Um, this is not scared. This is not fear mongering. This is just being a smart American citizen to know that hardship is coming. This is just reality. It's not fear mongering. This isn't just to scare you. This is just a reality. You can make money in these markets. You can short stocks. You can buy gold. You can buy things that I'm buying that are safe plays that I just showed you. Um, and you can join the stock club and we can make money. But if you going in this alone, I just pray that you really understand what you're doing and really study the game, especially if you're a beginner. But anyways, diversify your holdings. In times of volatility, consider diversifying your portfolio across various sectors and asset classes to mitigate risks, which is what I do. I'm in gold. I got tech. I got ETFs. Um, I got dividend stocks. I got fucking defensive stocks like McDonald's. So my portfolio is made up of things that no matter what happens, I have somebody winning, right? So, and that's really the best you can do when it comes to buying multiple positions at once. Um, and keep in mind, a lot of this is only happening because of the market uncertainty. And I know the market needed correction and all these things that are happening, and but either way, all I'm saying is the International Monetary Fund obviously sees shit different because they had a different forecast for world growth before um in January, and then after that they dropped it. So you do with that information what you will. But monitor your economic indicators. Keep an eye on key economic indicators such as inflation rates, employment data, and central bank policies to inform investment decisions. The CEO of one of the central banks or the spokesperson, I don't know if she's a CEO or not. I think she was the CEO, but one of the CEOs for the one of the central banks definitely was on CNBC this morning, and I watched that interview, and a lot of people are just saying, man, we got to make a trade, man. We gotta sit down and make a deal because, and people are gonna be firm. People understand like the sentiment when you listen to these people talk. You have to understand the sentiment. This is war, and allegedly, and I'm not saying it's physical war, but I'm saying this is financial war. If you ever watch a real financial movie, you'll see how things get grimy, they get slimy, and that's what I was telling y'all weeks and weeks and weeks ago when we had Talk Stock Tuesday. When I told y'all this trade war is gonna get grimy, it's gonna get slimy, and as Trump takes off regulations from the government for these companies, they're going to start doing shit that normal companies wouldn't have done in under other leadership. This shit get cutthroat, and that's what I was trying to tell people. So And it's not just corporations, it's countries. As you see what's going on between China and US and all these other countries, they're playing hardball. And US has yet to realize that they don't have the cards that they think they have. Yeah, you have the military, but with nukes, the military really don't mean nothing. Once you allow other superpowers to have nukes, the military don't mean nothing. Because if you start whooping their ass too bad, guess what they're gonna do? Press that button. But anyways, let's keep going. And those are just my conspiracy theories. I like to turn up the show and give y'all some entertainment with the information, just to make it a little bit more entertaining. But anyways, stay informed. Regularly review financial news and analysis to stay updated on market trends and political potential risks. The thing that I like to do mostly is just I use ChatGPT, man. ChatGPT can cook up a summary of the market, summary of all the relevant news in 5 seconds. That's my way of staying informed. And it also can monitor your economic indicators. It can do all those things for you. So um I am a big advocate of not letting ChatGPT pick my stock picks. I want you to do your own research, please. Don't let AI pick your stock picks. But I do like using AI, giving it, some personal information about what your budget is and what are your goals of trading and things of that nature, and kind of cook up what stocks do you like at the moment, what ETFs are you looking to get into, and use it to really cook up a trading plan because you're going to need it. In this market, you cannot just bear trade. You have to have a trading plan that is mandatory. So that's the last thing I'm gonna say. Yeah, man. I just want y'all to understand. Definitely use ChatGPT to your advantage. And I recommend, me personally, I recommend um using the paid version of ChatGPT because it's better. Um no, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I'm just saying I personally use it. I think it's better when you use the paid version. But anyways, so yeah, that's the main sentiment, man. Cook up a solid trading plan, whether you're trying to do swings, whether you're trying I don't recommend if you're a beginner to day trade, but if you are trying to day trade, then definitely cook up a trading plan. Make sure your stop losses are set. Make sure you're really, really paying attention to what the price movements. Um, and if you're going to invest for the long term, man, just make sure you're buying the best companies while they're on sale. Um, this time has been rough, but if you can kind of hold out and kind of just put some money aside and put away all the liquor and the weed and stop fucking going out every weekend and stop eating out every 5 seconds, then you can find some money to invest, man. And it's been a good time to get in because I promise you that day is slowly approaching. It might be a year from now. It might be a long time from now. It might be a couple weeks from now. But the moment Trump puts out that tweet and says, we've resolved this trade war, we won, whatever the case may be, he might put out some whatever propaganda he puts out about the trade war. The moment he puts that out, the market is going to drop points. I mean, like real points, bro. I mean, like $1 trillion days in the market consistently, all time new highs for multiple stocks and things of that nature. So, because the market, not only is the market getting weighed down by all these tariffs, but the entire economy, businesses don't know whether to hire people because they don't know if they're going to end up losing more money with these tariffs, which is hurting the job market, which is hurting wages. which means people are spending less, which means people are using their credit cards and credit card debt is rising. Japanese went away from the 10-year treasury yield. The treasury yield is dropping. The dollar is dropping very, very fast. Crypto rose today probably because of the dollar dropping so bad. Also, anytime gold really rises, I think crypto rises too because they're kind of up there in hedge wise against the market. But anyways, um, yeah, so there's a lot of things happening at once. And people are saying that there's a housing market coming. I'm not into real estate, so I'm not gonna speak on it. But there's a lot of smart people that are smarter than me in real estate saying that there might be a real estate market crash coming. So I mean, these tariffs are weighing down the United States economy. I mean, once you got niggas like Jim Cramer coming on there saying, "What the fuck are you doing, Trump?" I mean, you should have did this a different way. That's how you know it's bad. The one time Kramer is right, you know it's ugly outside. So, and that's a joke, by the way. I'm not talking shit about Jim Cramer. I love Jim Cramer. I used to watch Mad Bunny all the time. But anyways, yeah. So let's just keep it a buck. That's the situation. So yeah. So that's all I got for y'all tonight. I hope this was informational. I hope it was everything that you've been needing to hear coming from me, especially for y'all that's in the stock club. I know sometimes I'm not able to really post a lot in the stock club because I'm so busy, but yeah, I try to keep y'all aware of what to buy, when to buy, man. If you've been watching every week, that's why it's so important that not only do you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, but it's also so important that you join the stock club on Discord and which will be in the description. And you also you tune in every week, man, because if you miss a week, you miss 2 weeks, you miss 3 weeks, you're gonna miss some vital information for money that you could have made, man. That's proven to be true. This is not something I'm just making up. I got plenty of people in my stock club, plenty of testimonies of people that have executed on things that I've told them, and they've made money. Um, I always advise do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I gotta say that, but at the end of the day, um, I'm doing the stock trades that I'm calling out with y'all. I told y'all from the beginning, I'm not just telling y'all stock picks that I would never put in, like some people do on the internet. I'm personally building my own account. Um, as I'm telling y'all to build y'all's, man. So you can either be with me as I build or you can get left, man. But I promise you, there's gonna be one day in the future you're gonna look up and you're gonna say, damn, I was in this man's stock club every week. I saw him build his account to what he's at now. And that could have been me, but I didn't execute, man. I just hope y'all don't take that route, man. Please don't be that person that just sits and watches, man. This is real information. This could change your life. I've done extensive research. I've done well over 10,000 hours of studying this, man. I mean, this is probably about my fourth, fifth year trading, and I still feel like I'm a rookie, even with me doing all this. So, um, yeah, man, I'm constantly expanding my knowledge. I'm constantly doing research to give y'all the best outcomes of your trades every time you tune in. So, definitely hit that like button and subscribe, man. If you got any questions, hit me up on my Instagram at KC2Real. That's KCTOOREAL. And yeah, man, just hit my line. The link to the Discord, you can hit me up on Discord. Yeah, man. But anything other than that, let's make it through this motherfucking rough times, man. Let's get this money. Let's continue to get this money. We making money no matter what. All right, y'all. Peace.